Everybody and his mother has complained about the NES version of Karate Kid, though in all honesty, I don't think it's half as bad as people make it out to be. And my view on that game was definitely reinforced after playing this fucking crapfest. This is supposed to be a fighting game. I say supposed to because what you do in it can barely even be called fighting. In fact, this is one of the worst so-called fighting games I've ever played. So anyway, let's get into it. The Karate Kid Part 2 for the Amiga. I'm somewhat torn on this game's graphics. On one hand, the levels do look like certain scenes from the Karate Kid movie. But on the other hand, there's a certain flatness to them that really turns me off. Furthermore, the backgrounds are so static that they feel more like still paintings rather than actual places. They couldn't have put a little more life into the level designs? Maybe have some trees blowing in the wind or some water rushing by? Nope, they just couldn't go that extra mile. Another graphical problem comes with the character design. Every character in the fighting levels looks almost exactly alike. Seriously, look at this shit. Aside from the palette swap clothes, they're identical. Christ almighty, even the much reviled NES version made Daniel and his enemies look slightly different from each other. But here they were too lazy to do even that. Would it have killed them to make the characters look a little bit different from each other? Yep, I think it would have. Some of the other images look awful too. Like this one. Mr. Miyagi looks like he smoked a couple of bowls before he started catching flies. Here's something else that's silly. When a character is defeated, he stands up and then falls right back down again. Why waste the animation doing this? Why not just have him fall down and stay down? It's so asinine. The only good graphics in this game are the opening titles and the ice chop scene. Everything else sucks. While I'm on the subject of sucking, let's talk about the controls. They are some of the most crippled I've ever seen in any fighting game. You move Daniel left and right with the control pad and jump with the up key. As for punching and kicking, you only get one button, the control button. Okay, that's par for the course with Amiga games. But get this! To perform punches, you have to press up or down in a forward direction at the same time. And to perform kicks, you have to press the control button in a certain direction at the exact same time. And if you don't do it exactly right, Daniel won't do anything. They have all these fucking keys on the keyboard and they can only use the control button? Somebody didn't get the memo. What's even worse is the character orientation. If you press left, instead of walking left, he'll walk backwards. Alright, that's not too bad. But if you do a certain move like a spin kick and it doesn't connect, then Daniel will be facing the wrong way. Then you have to do a spin kick or turn in the opposite direction to be facing the correct way. Why can't he just do a full spin and be facing in the proper direction again? I swear, this game is giving me flashbacks to the final boss battle in Hook for the NES. And if you jump or jump kick past your opponent, you have to turn around or else you'll be vulnerable. It's like the game designers are deliberately fucking with you just for the fun of it. Shitty fighting games like Survival Arts have better controls than this. Wow, that's quite a dubious accomplishment. The gameplay is like the fighting game equivalent of Groundhog Day. You go through similar, flat-looking levels and fight the same opponents over and over and over again. Now this wouldn't be quite so bad if the fights were exciting and fast-paced like in Street Fighter II or Mortal Kombat. But the fighting in this game is so slow and clumsy that it quickly becomes an exercise in tedium. And the worst part is they could have done so much to make the game better. They could have varied the opponents and their fighting styles. They could have given Daniel's son new fighting moves to learn. They could have put a clock in there or multiple rounds. Instead, they did jack shit. People constantly complain about the NES version, but at least in that game you were actually doing something. In this one, you don't do much of anything. Except maybe stand there and mash buttons. One of the few virtues this game has is that it's very short. It's around about 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay. But if you lose once, it's all the way back to the beginning. And with this game's lousy controls, trust me, you'll be losing a lot. Occasionally, to break up the monotony, there are 2 bonus rounds. One of them is pot-baked Mr. Miyagi trying to catch a fly with chopsticks. And the controls here are so damn stiff that it makes it nearly impossible to catch a fly. Also, Mr. Miyagi has a limited range of motion, which makes it even harder. At least the NES version of this bonus game had better controls. Better still, it was mostly optional. You only had to do it once in a while to collect drum punches and crane kicks. But here, it's required. And what's your reward for dealing with all this aggravation? Some lousy points added to your score.
Whoa-wee!
The other bonus round is the ice chop, and it is such a pain in the ass. A hand drum appears in the upper right-hand corner, and you have to keep on pressing left and right on the control pad to build up, I don't know, rhythm or concentration or something? Anyway, once you get the proper rhythm going, you have to press right on the control pad and the control button. Time it right and you'll break the ice blocks. Time it wrong and you won't break shit. But these controls are so imprecise that I swear that half the time you'll do it right and the ice blocks still won't break. And once again, if you succeed, your only reward is points. No extra continues, no special moves, just points. Gee, thanks. If these are supposed to be bonus rounds, then where's the fucking bonus? The worst thing about these bonus rounds, though, is that they repeat constantly. You have to do each one about 3 or 4 times, and you can't skip past them. It really feels like they just dumped them in there to pad the game out a little more. Take them out of there, and you got maybe, 6 or 7 minutes worth of fighting, tops? One other point about fighting. The game's opponents do get a bit harder as you go along. But the AI is so fucking stupid that all the opponents tend to follow the same pattern. And all you have to do to beat him is just get in close and do spin kicks and jump kicks. The hit detection in this game, though, is shit tea. There are some shots like this one that I know should have hit my opponent, yet they didn't. Instead of the Karate Kid, maybe they should have called this game the Karate Klutz. Or maybe they should have fine-tuned the hit detection. Just a thought. To add injury to insult, when you lose, the game says, "You lost everything but your score." You know what? You can fucking keep that too. When you finally manage to get to the last battle, you have to face Chosen, who just so happens to look and fight like all the other enemies. What is the point in having a final boss if he's like every other fucking enemy in this game? He's so fucking generic, you may as well knock the Chosen name off him and call him Ralph or Mr. X or something. Oh, but there's a twist at the end of this battle. When Chosen is nearly defeated, the hand drum reappears and you have to knock him down with one more blow. Okay, points for that because it is somewhat like the movie. But this is nearly fucking impossible to do. I know because I tried it a bunch of times and I only managed it once or twice. Here's the real kicker though. If you fail, then you still win anyway. Either way, you get one lousy victory screen and that's it. I win, but I lose. It's like a goddamn paradox. But if this whole drum thing doesn't matter, then why fucking put it in there? Who knows what the fuck they were thinking when they made this piece of shit? I have to make a special mention of the sound effects. The sounds that they use in this game are such goofy, chop-socky nonsense that at first they're actually pretty funny. But since the game has almost no music aside from the beginning and the end, these are the only sounds that you're gonna hear. And they become really irritating really quickly. Here, listen. Ice! Oh, Lord. Oh, dear Lord. A Hong Kong Phooey cartoon has more dignity than this. As for the music, it's an okay rendition of the Karate Kid theme. Here, listen. It's decent, but not particularly memorable. This game is so badly made and generic that I bet if you removed all traces of the Karate Kid license from it, you wouldn't even know it was based on the movie. If you're gonna buy the license to a decent movie, go that extra mile and make a worthwhile game that respects the source material. And don't fucking half-ass it like this game did because it's a waste of everybody's time. So in conclusion, people who give the NES version of Karate Kid shit should really play this game. Because after doing so, I almost guarantee that they won't complain nearly half as much about that other game. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. If these are supposed to be bonus rounds, then where's the fucking bonus?